going to need access to capital. You don't need to have it all right away. If you can get a credit line, that's going to be better than a loan. If
in most cases,
they'll give you, in most cases,
if you need a sizable chunk of cash to spend right away, your interest rate on a loan is probably going to be better than your interest rate on a line of credit. But it's worth knowing the answers to those. So, and for those of you who don't know, a line of credit is exactly what Shannon means when he says access. The bank has carved out access to this, kind of like your credit card, right? You have access to credit there, but if you're not using it, you're not paying for it. And so it is that. In fact, oftentimes a line of credit will come with both a checkbook and a credit card to use against, to tap in to that line.
Yeah, that's right. And so, the line of credit isn't going to cost you. There's some origination fees, of course. Sure. They're going to want to make some money up front. They're usually pretty small, but you're only going to pay what you tap into, right? So if you need to borrow $50,000, well, you're paying interest on that 50 until you pay it back down to zero. I think they're great if you do need to if all they'll give you is a term loan. No, hey, we're going to help your business. I'm a big fan of taking that money out of their bank, even if you don't need it, put it somewhere else, put it in a different bank, per chance, and then pay it back as soon as you can, maybe, in a few months, and say, oh yeah, hey, I used it, and I'm paying it back. This makes you help build up that relationship. You look stronger. Then maybe you can ask them for a line of credit. I think it's important, and I've had them my whole life. There's different ways to get them. You can I mentioned on the last episode when we talked about maybe it was the episode before, when you don't have a lot of business assets, if you can take and get a home equity line of credit. I've done this, many times during my career. Sounds risky, but it's really not, in my opinion, as long as you believe in yourself and, you don't mind a little bit of risk. I wouldn't drain all the equity in your house, and typically the bank is not going to let you do that anyway. But those loans are very inexpensive. More than likely, even if you get a direct business line of credit from your bank, they're going to make you sign a personal guarantee anyway. So that's almost the same as putting, that equity in your house up for risk. So look into that. We talk about credit cards here on the show all the time. If you're just getting started and, you want to borrow, you need access to purchasing power. Credit cards are just a great way to do it. We'll put a couple links in the show notes that will list some cards that you might want to look at.